Hey guys, I'm back with another Boost Box market update, so let's get started. Scarlet Violet seems to be, as I said before, the more hotter series to invest in compared to Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield still has strength and there's still a lot of value in it, but as far as price movements go, it just has a lot more potential because the price points are lower and there's more available. And supply will slowly diminish and, then the price points will increase. Versus the sales data for Sword and Shield is just a lot slower and there's going to be price movement, but just kind of varies. Um, I'll get to Scarlet Violet first, but I will note that Lost Origin went to $400 up from 370 just the other day, and so I think that I'll go over this more later. It seems like the sets to possibly buy into, in my opinion, are Lost Origin already went up, but Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, and maybe even Silver Tempest. I say those are the sets that are getting interest right now, and there's other sets. A lot of the earlier sets they are kind of very stagnant. And it kind of makes sense in some ways because people kind of want the more long-term value sets with a big chase card. I think that's kind of the big defining thing. If there's a big alt-art chase card that everyone knows the set for, um, but I'll get into that. Actually, maybe I'll just get into that a little later. I think Scarlet Violet's a little more interesting. So yeah, Scarlet Violet base. I don't know. I don't know if anyone really thought that they would see this. Or like they knew it would come eventually, but they just were like, it's kind of weird to actually see it. Scarlet Violet based at 180. Um, if you told people to buy Scarlet Violet based at 180 like months ago, they call you crazy because that was like the price of um, Twilight and Paldea. Sometimes even like it could have been more expensive. Um, but yeah, it's still the cheapest booster box on the market because Paradox went up. So yeah, the booster box actually no, Battle Styles is actually slightly cheaper than it. So Battle Styles and SV Base are about the same price point. It's pretty insane. Um, I think a lot of what's happening is that supply is probably running low on these booster boxes, um, and people are just desperate to get in a Pokemon, and they're saying, "Oh, the supply is running out because people are opening boxes." Then we're gonna see price increases. Um, As far as like, I think that there's good um, demand data to look at. So yeah, the demand data still looks pretty strong. It kind of decreased in sales, but still it's been selling like 20, like well, it was 45 to 30, and now it's been like 20 a day for the last 2 days. So that's like pretty good. It's already 9 as of today. I make these in the morning, so it'll probably continue to about 20. Um, I look at this. Let's see, at 180, you get to 190. Um, Pretty quickly. Well, you get to 185 here, and that's 185. This is 180. So there's only 6 boxes at 180. It'll probably go to 185 once these boxes sell out. If Unless they don't sell out, because this is a 92% versus 100% seller. But there's like 190 prices here, 185 prices here, 195. Like it, if the stock doesn't really get um restocked pretty much at the lower price points, then it's just going to keep going up because there's not a lot of listings available. I'm sure some people will put it down, but like as of right now, there's no huge really seller that's like forcing the price to stay low. Paldea's the price stayed about the same, but the demand actually increased to 29. So 30 boxes are sold. That is one fourth of the total number of boxes on the market. Um, there's still a bunch of boxes at that price though. So like I see like 12 here, 13 boxes here. Um, and you don't get you get 227 here, but there's not like a major price increase until like maybe like 230 over here or 236. Um, but it seems like I have a lot of optimism for Paldea because when you see that the price increased, this you could get this at like 190, just like the other like last weekish, um, and the price has gone up and people are buying more of it, which shows how like insane how strong demand is. If the price goes up and people buy less of it, then you're like, okay, maybe there's a correction, or maybe it's a small correction, and then you like go back up. Um, but if demand is going up, it means that people are very bullish on Paldea. Obsidian, it's a similar case. It's not quite the same, but yeah, the price didn't really change. But there's still like yesterday the demand kind of decreased, but the other day, which I think I the other day it was like 15 and 21. So that I want to see how the demand kind of affects it, but it's not as strong as Paldea. But Obsidian still is one of those like resilient sets, and I think that definitely as since the price is only like $10 off or $12 off from SC base, it kind of has to go up. Obsidian has had a lot of um, favor from like whoever's buying it. Because like the price just as far as like the set goes, it's not the greatest in the world. Like as far as like some basic metrics of like oh this whole set value whatever, and the big chase card isn't even that expensive, but yeah, you continue to see prices go up, and yeah, with the pressure of what else would I buy? Would I buy SC base over Obsidian? A lot of people would say no. They'd probably want Obsidian more. As the price point gets that much closer, it's like you'd rather buy Obsidian. That's part of the reason why Obsidian was more expensive initially. For Paradox, um, yeah, Paradox also shot up. Like the two main boxes that went up were yeah, actually even Stellar went up, but those three boxes were considered the cheap booster boxes. Like these were the three boxes that you could get around $100. Like not too long ago, like probably in like July. I think I even saw some boxes for like I think Hills Wholesale had a bunch of these for like 100 ish at like October November. Like that's only a couple months ago that these you could buy these like for literally about $100 each. Maybe like 100, 510 depending on shipping. And so like these are already pretty much like $200 booster boxes. But yeah, these are the boxes that seemed like they were the only thing left at distribution, and even these boxes, like oh well, the prices are going up as well. And yeah, Stellar Crown, I told you, like, sold on Pokemon Center recently, so the price was expected to go up. It's also been a set in general that people have liked. Like, they like them more than Paradox and SV Base because I think of the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur. Um, but yeah, I'm not surprised it's really at 190. It's kind of like it's kind of about time, especially with this recent bull run. Um, But yeah, Paradox, it's doing pretty good. Like since we're reaching like high numbers of demand, and there's like two forces I'm thinking about. It's like everything's gonna go up, but now that the prices are so high, we're meeting like resistance from the other box prices. Like would people rather buy Paradox SC base over some of the other sets? Um, a lot of people have talked about the first four sets of Scarlet Violet, saying that they're probably not going to print any more booster boxes of the first four. I know they haven't been printing booster boxes of the last four: Temporal, Twilight, Stellar, and Surging, but the first four have already gotten so many reprints, or enough reprints that people suspect that they're kind of done. So they're just a little more long term safety compared to Temporal, Twilight, Stellar, and Surging. Um, Temporal Forces, like honestly, like I'm still just waiting for it to sell at Pokemon Center. Um, it's probably selling. I'm guessing it's selling really, really, really quick. I still need to make a Pokemon Center update video on that. Uh, but yeah, I think the price there's not like that much of it on the market sometimes at certain price points, and so like I think once it really sells on Pokemon Center, then like it'll kind of go crazy because it's already this strong, even without selling out. Twilight, yeah, demand has actually like increased recently. Like there's the 25 here, 27 here, and then like in the middle 14. There's only 82, like 27 out of 82. That's like about a third. Um, at this, it only went up like a few dollars, but yeah, you do see the 220 rises 220 right here. So after um about 16 boxes are sold, it goes to 220, which 16 boxes is insignificant, but I mean based on the last sales, it's like it's not that far off if the demand kind of increases. And then Surge, I mean Stellar Crown, I didn't really talk about specifically with the graph, but yeah, it's doing pretty decent. The 190. The next price point is kind of, let's just say this 194, and then so that is only like 8 boxes off, and the demand has been like 14, like 14 to 20 a day. So yeah, it's also us going strong. I'm seeing a lot of not a lot of listings, and the like these are booster boxes that are like 200 something, like around $200, and the amount being sold compared to the quantity for a lot of these boxes is quite insane. Like this is 27 out of 82 for Twilight. This is 14 out of 75. Like, if you do the math, it'll sell in like a few days. 5 out of, for Temporal, it's weaker. For Paradox, 12 out of that, it's a little weaker, but some days it does get a little higher. Obsidian, yesterday was kind of low, so like if the demand stays off, then sure. But yeah, I can see like for Stellar and Twilight, the relative demand is a little better. Okay, and surging, the price didn't. It went. It's a little. I feel like it's a little more of a solid 260 now. Um, I see like these 14 boxes from Card Crash. After that, it goes to 264. It keeps like honestly, since all the other boost boxes are rising, like you don't really expect surging sparks to drop, because why would it suddenly drop? Um, because people would rather buy surging than they would buy the other booster boxes. But for Rip and Shift Rewards to like um hope that it goes up. So it seems to be, it's a little early to tell, and it could definitely just go back down easily, like $10 or whatever. But yeah, it seems a little stronger recently. Like the price has been going up. I guess total demand for 3 months. You see, like the bars went up from February 12th to February 17th. Now they're going a little back down. Like it was about 80 sold over those 3 days each. And then now it went to like 60, and um, well, this is going to still include today, but I would guess it says 34. It'll probably end up being like 40 or 50. But yeah, I'm looking out for searching sparks. Okay, now I want to go over Sword and Shield. Yeah, as I said before, it seems like Scarlet Violet still seems hotter. Um, let's see. Sword and Shield base Rebel Flash have had like zero change. Darkness Ablaze hasn't really had much change. It went up like $1, but yeah, you see the sales are just way less. Like one was sold the other day. Um, and when I look at the listings, it still has a ways to go, unless like people buy out a ton all of a sudden, or people raise their prices. But yeah, at some point it could rise. It's like 204. But it's just not as like drastic at the moment. Vivid Voltage, yeah, the demand has been kind of like iffy. 3 and 1, like 4 sold in the last 2 days. The price did go up. It's been around that price before, so nothing too crazy. Um, yeah. So yeah, I told you like Vivid Voltage and Battle Styles. I'm not really holding my breath on those because they're still pretty recent sellouts. Pokemon Center, and so like you just kind of have to wait until people sentiment finally turns them being like, oh, there's no other opportunities. I should invest in Battle Styles or Vivid Voltage. Um, and then that leaves with Chilling Rain. Yeah, I was initially getting this like market data. I was like, oh, it's been kind of slow this weekend. Is it just like the weekend making it slow? But yeah, there was like one sale yesterday for, and the day before for Chilling Rain. There's still the cheap boxes from this, um, no 100% seller, so they're probably legitish. Um, at 310. There's other 310 listing. There's another 310 listing here, but it's a little less trustworthy probably. Um, I mean, it does go up to 315 and 320 right after that, but yeah, it's like it was recovering and it kind of slowed down again. I still think it's pretty cheap. I don't know how much lower it will go. Historically, it has gone to like 290. Um, but 290 has kind of been the lowest I've seen it. Like it's gone up to like 380, and I know on that like like Lost Origin has like kind of recovered from its, like you see like Lost Origin has really recovered. So these boxes will recover. And this is what Lost Origin. It like went up, and then it went back down. But like 340 is still way more than 240. Um, but okay, but I think part of the reason why Chilling Reign um, isn't as popular is because like there's some stigma toward Chilling Reign. But also like when I think of Chilling Reign, there's no like one single chase card like I'm like hoping to get. Like it just has a bunch of good cards, but it makes a huge difference when there's like this one chase that's like I really want to get that the set is known for. Like there's other cards too, like Evolving Skies has a ton of things, but everyone still quotes the Moonbryon. Sometimes they quote Rayquaza, but usually the Moonbryon is like, oh yeah, I want to get that alt art. Um, and there's only so many sets like that. Um, so yeah, I look at Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is kind of floundering now. It's probably because it's so expensive. Um, it went. It's the only box that went down over the couple of days, like by $10. Um, so yeah, it's still kind of cheap. It's not the lowest it's been. It's been at like 1260 before. But yeah, Evolving Skies it seems to be having as much movement lately. But I still think it's kind of cheap. I think Chilling Reign and Evolving Skies are pretty cheap right now. Um, but as far as like sudden movement in the near future, I'm not really sure. But as far as I feel like I'm more optimistic about these later boxes. Um, I'm gonna just cover the ones that I'm not really talking about. So Astral Rays, A Billion Stars. I feel like those are like possibly cheap buys for people. Um, but they don't have the altar pull. Like Silver, like Astral Rays definitely doesn't. Like Brilliant Stars kind of has the Charizard, but it doesn't have like that one. Like oh, like no one's really like oh, I have the Charizard. Um, it just doesn't have the same emotional sort of appeal to people. Um, and like yeah, like it's not just like a feeling thing. You'd probably see in sales data too. Like oh, like do you have the main chase card? Like do you have the Lugia for Silver Tempest, the Giratina for Lost Origin? Like those are the, oh yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that at like a good percentage of market price because it's a very easy to move item. Um, but yeah, like Astral Radiance stayed about the same, and Burning Star stayed about the same. Um, okay, now I've been kind of like repeating this, but yeah, Fusion Strike went up like about how much was it? About $15, and there's not like a ton of sales. There's not like a ton of listings like way ahead of it. Um, like it could go to 475 instead of just 465. It's like $10 more if like one, two, three, like three boxes are sold. So actually, that's not that far off because like three boxes sold yesterday, and then I skipped a day, and then four boxes were sold. But yeah, it definitely has like the Gengar card that everyone kind of wants to pull. And I think that's what gives it its appeal. And Gengar is actually a really popular Pokemon too, so that really helps. Yeah, it's like really popular Pokemon and it has amazing artwork that people really want to pull. That's kind of hard to pull as well. But yeah, this is going up. So I think I told you before, like the demand of Fusion Strike is pretty strong, like relatively wise. Like it has like more than like 2 to 4 sales like a day, a lot of days, compared to other boxes which will have like a lot less, unless they're like kind of cheaper ones. Um, and it's just been like kind of the same for a while, but like it hasn't dropped that far. From the drop hasn't been as extreme as Lost Origin. If you look at this graph, it went up to like 490, and then it goes like to 450, and now it's already recovering. So Future Strike has generally had like better strength, versus Lost Origin had a bigger drop of like 385, 390, all the way to 340. Um, but Lost Origin is making the jump back to three, pretty much $400 as a Giratina. Like I think everyone's is always like Lost Origin. Um, it just doesn't have any negative sentiment toward it. Fusion Strike has been like um, people have been negative about in the past, and it went down to really low price points. Lost Origin I think only went cheap mostly because of the Pokemon like bear market and um, because there was a restock at some point. I think around 2022, and then that dropped the prices to 100 or something like 100, 120. But other than that, like it didn't really have like I don't think it was ever like really overprinted or anything. Compared to Fusion Strike. And then Silver Tempest, like because Lost Origin and Future Strike are kind of obvious, they're like number 2 and 3 of Sword and Shield. Silver Tempest, like out of all the more affordable booster boxes, I'm a little more optimistic toward it because it has Lugia Chase card. I said it like I think the resistance for the Pokemon Center selling it just recently affects it, but yeah, I think the Lugia Chase brings just more value to the box in general, the set in general. Um, And yeah, after this 245 price, it goes to 250 like immediately because there's only one listed. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.